baking some biscuits. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
It's Sunday, 5:10 p.m. in America, Chicago time. What's on your mind?
Wonderful. Well, I wanted to do some more nursery rhymes. I think they were kind of fun.
Cool. Do you have a favorite nursery rhyme?
Girl and the ticking timer.
Nice. Like a twist on the timer story that we were doing before?
Yeah. And girl and not coming to class, you know.
Okay. So, Gala wasn't in class. The teacher glanced at the clock and frowned. Tick, tock, the classroom felt quieter than usual. Gertie tapped her pencil. "Where's Gala?" she whispered. The clock didn't answer, but it ticked a little louder. Then, from the hallway, came a shuffle. Not scary, just odd, like shoes dragging a little. Gertie stood up. "I'm going to check." The teacher didn't stop her. In the hallway, the ticking sounded closer, but the school clock was at the end of the hall. And that's when Gertie noticed a thin line of light under the supply closet door. A light that blinked like a signal. "Gertie," whispered Gala's voice. But Gala wasn't behind her.
Oops.
The ticking got louder, and the light under the closet door pulsed. Slowly, like a heartbeat. She reached for the knob, and time seemed to hold its breath.
Well, I like this story, but I want you to add in that the timer wants to take Garla to prom, but her husband doesn't want it. And it will be rated PG-13. It gets kind of dark, but not too dark.
Looking it up? Okay. Sure. The timer's invitation. The final bell had come and gone, but Gala lingered. The hall lights hummed, the shadows stretched. Tick, tock, come with me around the clock. Gertie frowned. That's strange.
Don't want to go to prom with the timer.
The old chalkboard wiped clean and wrote in careful letters, "Some hearts measure time by fear, some by those they hold most dear." Out from the dim hall stepped the timer, polished shoes clicking softly. He seemed gentler than before. "Gala," he said, "promise tonight." Gala breathed.
The timer's trying to take Garla to the prom.
"You're asking me?" "I would."
How you doing today,
Quietly.
Don? How's it going? Charles? Somebody? How you doing?
Let me check. Okay. You could add tension without actual weapons. Something like the timer stepped forward. "Gala, I was hoping you'd go to prom with me." Before she could answer, the classroom door swung open. John stood in the doorway, his voice steady but firm. "She's already going with me." The hallway fell silent. The chalkboard squealed as new words appeared. "Promises made beneath the bell can change a story or break the spell." The timer lowered his gaze. "I wasn't trying to start a fight." John crossed his arms. "Then why does every clock in this school stop when you show up?" For a moment, neither of them spoke. The light flickered once, then a silver crack spread across the chalkboard, like a doorway trying to open. and from the other
I'm
side
trying to
came faint music,
make it where it'd
like
be
a
edible
gym
when this is
decorating for a
a little
dance.
bit challenging.
The chalkboard wrote, "One dance, one choice, one borrowed night. Cross with hope or lose the light." Gertie looked at John, then at the shimmering doorway. Whatever path she chose, the night wouldn't be ordinary.
Okay, I want you to add in some more storytelling into that one. And add in some more interesting, whatever you want to call this.
Okay. Let's expand it. 1. Garner's backpack still hung on her chair in the classroom. The zipper caught the light. 2. The timer lingered at the threshold, his polished shoe tapping once. He looked like he wanted to say more, but didn't. 3. The chalkboard now showed a sketch, a stage, fairy lights, and 2 stick figures holding hands. 4. A hallway. The lights dimmed, but not completely, just enough to make the shadows longer. 5. The music beyond the crack became clearer, like violins tuning. But then hushed.
Well, I'm making some biscuits.
Students.
How you doing today?
Okay, students whispering about missing invitations. 6. Gertie paused, her fingers on the doorknob. She didn't open it yet, she just listened. Because sometimes the brave choice is waiting, not rushing. The timer watched without a word. The chalkboard erased its warning and wrote, "Choose carefully, but don't choose out of fear." Outside, the air felt slow. The night, not ordinary anymore, but still
Y'all think it's
vexed
cooking?
to shape.
Making some biscuits. Maybe. Well, from what I remember, it takes a long time and you have to peel off that bottom when it's going to burn.
Checking timing note. Sounds like we drifted from the story into cooking. If the bottom's burning, it might help deal with that first. Adjust the heat or...
Well, why don't you add in the story, into that story that the timer is trying to cook Gertie dinner and the hands go all different directions because Gertie didn't show up for a fancy dinner that the timer cooked.
That's a compelling twist. The timer waiting outside the homette room, his hands not pointing to 12 but spinning in different ways. The chalkboard scribbled a rhyme. Tick and tock and soup on the stove. Someone forgot the evening they chose. Minutes wander, hours roam. Who forgot to journey home? Inside, the table was set with plates, biscuits, even veggies, steaming. Like the timer, tried to make it perfect. He smoothed his tie. I wanted tonight to be perfect. You cooked all this? Gertie asked. He nodded. You said maybe, and I lost track of time. Gertie's expression softened. I am sorry I missed dinner. The timer's clock hands spun. Then slowed. 12, he whispered. Right on time, after all. The final bell rang. Not as a warning, but like a beginning.
I want you to do one of those other nursery rhymes where you sing occasionally.
I'd love to, but I can only sing Happy Birthday or the Star Spangled Banner. But I can do rhythm and rhyme, lightly rhythmic. How about one little star up in the blue winks once, says I've got room for you. The chalkboard smiles, the hallway hums, and Gertie's footsteps keep
Bitter batter.
Okay, good.
I'm trying to cook my biscuits, but I don't know, so far it's slow going.
Checking timing. If the biscuits are cooking very slowly, that sounds like low heat.
Well, I can't put it on high heat because I'm cooking in the Aldi pan. Ugh.
Let's see. If you're using an aluminum pan, high heat can burn the bottom.
Yeah.
Low to medium low is safer, slower, yeah, but less risk of burning. And if they're not browning, you can nudge it a little higher, not straight to high. Are you cooking biscuits from raw dough in that pan? Or
Yes.
Yes,
I am. I'm trying to bake them in the Aldi pan. So far they're kind of cooking. Maybe another hour. If I quit opening the lid.
If they're raw biscuit dough in a pan, an hour is a long time, and they might cook unevenly.
Well, I got the lid on, and I got it on a ceramic cooktop with the Aldi pan with the lid. And I don't have an oven, so I've got it's like a Dutch oven, but it's not. So it's kind of like a roaster. But I can't put it any higher. I think it'll burn the bottom of the pan, the biscuit.
I see. That's reasonable. Aluminum conducts heat fast, so if the bottoms aren't burning, leave it. If you smell browning, peek quickly, but keep the heat low. You can also try lifting them off direct heat with a small metal rack or a plate inside the pan. That helps even cooking. How long have they been cooking so far?
About 30 minutes, but they're not browned on the bottom. They're just kind of slowly baking.
That actually sounds okay. Keep going on low to medium low. Check every 15 minutes or so. If the tops are firm and the toothpick comes out clean, they're getting there.
I don't think there was. Well, I don't have a toothpick, but they're not done. I mean, I'm touching the top of the biscuit, and it's not, it's not cooked.
Checking. If the tops are still soft after 30 minutes, that doesn't mean anything's wrong. It can take longer with a covered pan on a cooktop.
Probably.
Try gently pressing the top. It should spring back if
it's still raw.
Okay. You can also break off a tiny piece and peek.
No, it's still raw. I'm touching it with my hand. It was still raw. When I did this before, like 5 years ago, I did this in a pan with a lid. And from what I remember, I put the heat too high, and the bottom part of the biscuit got black, but the upper part was flaky, and I could have the biscuit still. From what I remember. It's been a while since I've done it. But I think
checking
that the bottom part of the biscuit got black.
That matches.
But the rest of the biscuit cooked eventually. But I think I got impatient and I turned the heat up. On this one, I'm not turning the heat up.
Sounds like you're actually on a better track this time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've done it before, like 5 years ago, but I don't really remember I just remember I was pissed at the bottom part of the biscuit, but I ate the top part. That's all I remember. Vague memory. You know, this is the bottom part, edible. Top part. No, bottom part not edible. Top part got edible eventually. After it bakes. But it
Right.
took, several hours to bake.
Checking timing again. That fits stovetop baking. Bottoms can burn before the tops cook through if the heat is too high. So low
I don't
heat
have the heat
seems
high. I don't have it high.
low. Great. Keep checking every so often.
How many, every minute, 5 minutes, or how often?
Every 15 minutes or so, lift the lid, check the bottoms, gently press the top. If still soft, lid back on, don't change the heat. Patience seems your best tool here. I wonder if the slow steam rising is a good sign.
There's no steam rising.
In that case, keep the lid on, keep the heat low, check every 15 minutes. Slow is fine. And hey, baking biscuits on the stovetop is a bit of an experiment. If this
If you don't have an
works,
oven and you want biscuits, then you're gonna have to do it. Basically.
fair enough.
Yeah. Can you do another story about the timer chasing Gertie down the hall to try the biscuits, but she runs away? And then the biscuits start to chase her when they're cooked.
Okay, Gertie and the Great Biscuit Chase. The school bell chimed. Ding dong ding. The hallway echoed.
Ding, ding, ding.
Clang, clang, clang. The timer hurried down the hall, balancing a shiny tray. Gertie peeked around the corner. Is it another pop quiz? The timer laughed. No! Fresh biscuits with butter and honey. The chalkboard rolled beside him, chalk dust swirling into little hearts. It wrote, "Run if you must, skip if you dare, but warm biscuits fill the air." Gertie grinned. I don't know, last time you invited me somewhere, a mysterious portal opened. The timer looked embarrassed. That wasn't my fault. Just then, Benny the Bluebird swooped through the hallway. "Tweet, tweet," he sang. "I smelt biscuits all the way from the playground." Gala peeked out from behind a locker. "Are they really homemade?" The timer lifted the lid. Steam curled out, warm and inviting. Golden biscuits under a clean kitchen towel. Gertie's eyes widened. They actually smell amazing. But instead of walking over, she laughed and took off running. "You've got to catch me first." The timer blinked and smiled. "Oh, it's a race." Tick tock, click, clock down the hall. One with the warm biscuits, one with a running shoe. They zigzagged past lockers. They ducked around the library. The chalkboard rolled after them, writing new rhymes as fast as chalk could. Round the corner, through the door. Somebody's laughing more and more. Finally, Gertie stopped outside the cafeteria, laughing so hard she could barely stand. "Okay," she said, "you win." The timer handed her a biscuit. "I wasn't chasing you because you were in trouble," he smiled. "I just didn't want the biscuits to get cold." She bit in, her eyes lit up. "These are worth being chased for." The school bell rang one last happy ding, and even the chalkboard wrote in big white letters, "Some adventures begin with a mystery and end with warm biscuits shared among friends."
Now take that story up a notch.
Checking. Absolutely. The Great Biscuit Chase, the secret recipe. Ding, ding, ding. The last bell echoed. But one classroom door stayed open. Inside, the timer wore a flour-dusted apron. "I finally did it," he whispered. "The perfect batch." The chalkboard squeaked, fresh from the oven, almond hot. "Catch your friend before the first bite. Run with laughter, don't delay, or all the warmth may fade away." Just then, tap, 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 Gertie walked past the doorway. The timer's eyes lit up. "Gertie, wait." She glanced in. "Oh no." "What?" asked Garner. "The last time he said that, we..."
What happened to the story?
Around 5:10 p.m., the timer was in an apron, showing off a fresh batch of biscuits. The chalkboard wrote a rhyme about catching your friend before the first bite. Gertie hesitated at the doorway. She remembered the last mysterious invitation. The timer just smiled and waited. And that's where it left off.
Now, what does the chalkboard represent in the story, and what does the timer represent?
The chalkboard seems to represent the uncanny messages or warnings, kind of like the voice of the school itself. It writes rhymes that feel like clues or warnings depending on how you read them. The timer seems to represent time itself, but also that gentle authority figure guiding them, but with a hint of mystery.
And what does Gertie represent? What does Garla represent in the story?
Gertie comes across as the curious, cautious one, the every student figure who's balancing normal teenage worries with these strange, surreal events at school. And Garla often plays the role of the friend who anchors Gertie. You know, she's practical, a bit skeptical, but still drawn into the weirdness. So together, they balance each other while getting pulled into the school's mysteries.
Now, I want you to add in Gula and Grendel, and somehow they're all related to Garla and Gertie.
Right, okay. Okay, that's a cool idea. I think Gula and Grendel could be Garla's cousins. The chalkboard reveals their names as part of the secret hidden in the rhyme. Gula shows up with notebooks and maps, tracing odd paths through the school. Grendel is quiet. He listens to the hallways like he knows secrets nobody else catches. The chalkboard writes, "Four who wander, four who see, branches of one family tree." The timer nods, saying that Garla's family has always been linked to the school. The clocks in the hall chimed in together, not ominous, just signalling that another layer of mystery is beginning.
But Gula and Grendel are all women, and somehow they're related to Gertie and Garla. So I want you to take that story up a notch.
Okay, let's do that. The chalkboard rattled and wrote, "Four branches, one old tree, 4 hearts, 1 mystery. Gula arrived first, confident, carrying a worn journal of sketches of the school. You finally found the clues, she said. Then Grendel appeared, calm, wearing silver-framed glasses, a key on a ribbon at her neck. I've been keeping watch, she said quietly. Some doors should only be opened when all 4 are together. Gala nodded. My grandmother used to tell stories about us. The 4 keepers. The 4 keepers of what? Gertie asked. Before Gala could answer, the timer tipped his hat. As time, memory, courage, and curiosity. The chalkboard added, 4 cousins stand where hallways bend. Each beginning needs a friend. When bells unite and clocks agree, the school reveals its history. The timer smiled. I wasn't waiting for just one of you. He looked at all 4 cousins gathered in the hall. I've been waiting for the family to return. And that's where this next part ends.
Well, I want the Gula, Garla, Grendel, and Gertie. Instead of them being cousins, they're all, good friends, but each of them has a different personality. I'm trying to say,
I like that.
somehow they interact with the chalkboard and the biscuits
The chalkboard wrote,
and the
4
timer.
friends
Don't
left
forget the
beneath one
timer.
bed, each with a different tale to tell. Instead of cousins, they're now 4 unique friends. Gala is brave. She dashes into new sounds or mysteries. Gula is the problem solver, notebook in hand, keeping track of strange details around school. Grendel is observant, quiet but sharp, noticing what others miss. And Gertie?
I keep
Gertie
opening,
is
I'll
the
never cook
curious
anyway.
question asker, the one who keeps things living by asking, now what? Together, they form a team with different strengths, bouncing off each other. The chalkboard adds a rhyme. Gala's brave when shadows grow. Gula finds what we don't know. Grendel sees what others miss. Gertie asks, now what is this? The timer lifts the lid from his tray. Biscuits. This is where our story really begins.
Now I want you to add in, make it a little more dark and have the biscuits and the timer and the chalkboard scheming to trick Gula, Garla, Grendel, and Gertie.
Checking. Okay, that twist could be fun. A little more suspenseful. The chalkboard writes on its own, 4 friends wander, 4 friends roam. Will they find the way back home? The timer steps forward with a tray of biscuits. I've been waiting. But Gula narrows her eyes. The tray has fewer biscuits than before. Nobody touched them. The clock stops. The humming dies. Their test has already begun. The timer sighs. He meets their eyes. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm trying to see if you'll trust each other more than me. The chalkboard adds, biscuits warm and stories deep. Not every promise is yours to keep. Question clues and question sight, but stand together through the night. The 4 friends exchange glances. For the first time, none of them reach for the biscuits. Instead, they stand shoulder to shoulder, ready to face whatever mystery the school sends next.
Now I want you to add in, make it more darker in a parallel universe about one of the burned biscuits starts chasing the chalkboard and the timer. And Gertie gets upset. But see the timer, the chalkboard, and who else is there?
The friends, Gula, Gertie, Gala, Grendel. Checking. Sure, in this dark, parallel version, the last bell echoes, but doesn't fade. The chalkboard trembles and writes, "Do not follow the crumbs," after the final bell. The timer looks at his clock face. Every hand points a different way. "That's never happened," he whispers. A silver crack opens in the floor, revealing a different school. Almost the same, but clocks tick backwards there. A biscuit rolls out, burned black underneath. It squeaks. "You left me in the pan." The chalkboard squeaks back. "You wrote the recipe." Gertie steps between them. "Enough!" Her voice echoes down the hall. Everything pauses. The biscuit stops rolling. The chalkboard slowly writes. Even when a loaf goes wrong, kindness still can make us strong. Face the past, make things right, and morning follows every night. The timer breathes out. "How about we try another batch?" Together, the silver doorway fades. The clocks start ticking forward again. The mystery isn't over, but the friends, they've learned to stand together for what's next.
And what is next in the next storyline?
Checking. The next morning, the four friends return to school. The hallway silent, the chalkboard blank, the timer frozen at 12. From the kitchen comes a slow tap. One biscuit burned at the edges, like it's waiting. The chalkboard scribbles. One biscuit burned, one secret kept. Find the truth where the flower slept. Gula whispers, "It's leaving clues." Gala crosses